Welcome to our special segment on election fun facts. Today, we're diving into the lighter side of the electoral process, where history meets hilarity. Get ready to laugh and learn with some of the most amusing tidbits from U.S. election history. From quirky campaign strategies to bizarre ballot blunders, we've got it all. Because let's face it, the world of politics can be a pretty dry and humorless place. Endless speeches, monotonous debates, and the same old promises can make anyone yawn. It's all filibusters and gerrymandering and politicians pretending to know what a javelin missile is. The jargon and the drama can sometimes feel like a never-ending soap opera. But hidden beneath the surface, like a deeply buried treasure chest filled with whoopee cushions and Groucho Marx glasses, is a trove of genuinely hilarious election fun facts. And tonight, we're gonna crack that bad boy open and share the spoils with you. From the candidate who campaigned on a platform of free ponies for everyone to the time a presidential hopeful got stuck in a parade float, we've got stories that will make you chuckle and shake your head in disbelief. Did you know that in 1968, a pig named Pegasus was nominated for president by the Yippies? Or that in 1872, Victoria Woodhull became the first woman to run for president, even though women couldn't vote yet? These are just a few examples of the whimsical and wacky world of elections. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be entertained. We promise you'll leave with a smile on your face and a newfound appreciation for the lighter side of democracy. Let's dive into these election fun facts and enjoy the ride. If you enjoyed these fun facts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more entertaining content. Share your favorite election fun fact in the comments below. All right, let's kick things off with a real doozy. The United States, that beacon of democracy, that shining city on a hill, comes in at a respectable 139th place out of 172 countries for voter turnout. That's right, folks. We're sandwiched between Algeria and Kuwait. You know, countries not exactly known for their thriving, participatory democracies. It's almost as if all that talk about the sacred duty of voting is, and I can't stress this enough, a complete and utter load of... In 1892, our ancestors decided they were done with the archaic practice of writing things down on pieces of paper. Honestly, the nerve of those people to even call themselves Americans. Thankfully, the first voting machine was introduced, revolutionizing the way we cast our ballots. No more paper cuts, just the sweet satisfaction of pulling levers and hoping for the best. Now, this one might seem a bit niche, but trust me, it's a real humdinger. Jimmy Carter, the peanut farming Nobel Peace Prize winning 39th President of the United States, was the first to be born in a hospital. All those other presidents, from Washington to Nixon, were born in log cabins and covered wagons. If you enjoyed this fun fact, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more hilarious election trivia. You know, back in the good old days, when America was young and full of promise, there was this one guy, George Washington, who decided to become president without the help of those pesky political parties. That's right, the father of our nation was the original independent candidate. No donkey, no elephant, just a powdered wig and a dream. Let's be honest, the Star-Spangled Banner isn't exactly the easiest song to sing. It's long, it's got a weird melody, and good luck hitting that high note at the end unless you're Mariah Carey. But you know who loved that song? Herbert Hoover. That's right, the man who presided over the Great Depression made the Star-Spangled Banner our national anthem. Thanks, Herbert. Now, we all know that running for office can be an expensive endeavor. There are ads to film, babies to kiss, and just an obscene amount of red, white, and blue bunting to purchase. But back in George Washington's day, they had a different approach to campaign finance. Old George spent his entire campaign budget on 160 gallons of liquor. That's right, 160 gallons of pure, unadulterated booze. For a nation founded on the principle of no taxation without representation, it might surprise you to learn that for a good chunk of its history, the U.S. was perfectly fine with no representation without land ownership. That's right, folks. Up until 1856, if you wanted to cast a ballot in this great nation of ours, you had to prove you owned a piece of it. This meant that the right to vote was not a universal right, but a privilege reserved for those who had the means to own land. It's almost as if the Founding Fathers forgot to include a little addendum to the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal, but some are more equal than others, especially if they own property. This system created a society where wealth and land ownership were directly tied to political power and influence. This exclusionary practice meant that many groups, including women, African Americans, and non-landowning white men, were denied a voice in the political process. Over time, various movements arose to challenge this status quo. The abolitionist movement, the women's suffrage movement, and labor unions all fought for broader voting rights. These movements highlighted the inherent contradictions in a democracy that claimed to be for the people, but excluded so many from participating. Political cartoons and satirical writings of the time often mocked the hypocrisy of a system that touted equality while practicing exclusion. Significant changes began to take place with the passage of various amendments and laws aimed at expanding the electorate. The 15th Amendment in 1870 prohibited voting restrictions based on race, and the 19th Amendment in 1920 granted women the right to vote. Today, while the struggle for truly universal suffrage continues, the progress made over the centuries has brought us closer to the ideal of a democracy where every citizen has a voice. The journey towards a more inclusive democracy reminds us that the fight for representation is ongoing, and each generation must continue to push for a system that truly reflects the will of all its people. So get involved, stay informed, and make your voice heard. Your participation is crucial in shaping the future of our democracy. Register to vote, support voting rights initiatives, and encourage others to do the same. Together, we can build a more inclusive and representative society. Ever wonder why we always vote for president on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November? No? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. Back in 1845, Congress decided that this oddly specific date would be the official election day. The reason? It was after the fall harvest and before winter conditions made travel too difficult. Because who wants to brave a blizzard just to exercise their democratic right? Now, we've all seen them, those iconic symbols of American politics, the Democratic donkey and the Republican elephant. But have you ever stopped to wonder who in the world decided that these animals would represent our two major political parties? Well, you can thank Thomas Nast, a 19th century cartoonist, for that little bit of visual shorthand. In 1874, Nast drew a cartoon for Harper's Weekly that lampooned the political parties, depicting the Democrats as a donkey and the Republicans as an elephant. And the rest, as they say, is history. Last but not least, let's talk about Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, the man who led the nation through its Civil War and, oh yeah, the tallest president in American history. Honest Abe stood a towering 6 feet 4 inches tall, which, back in the 1860s, must have made him look like a redwood tree in a forest of saplings. The man was practically a giant. Thanks for tuning in to our Election Fun Facts. We've had an incredible journey exploring the quirks and oddities of the electoral process with you. We hope you had as much fun as we did. From the most bizarre candidates to the strangest campaign strategies, it's been a wild ride. Remember, folks, beneath the surface of every seemingly boring and mundane subject, there's a treasure trove of fascinating, bizarre, and often hilarious facts just waiting to be unearthed. Elections are no exception. They are filled with stories that can make you laugh, gasp, and even scratch your head in disbelief. So the next time you're feeling bogged down by the weight of the world, remember, you're just a Google search away from discovering that a pigeon once ran for president. Yes, you heard that right. A pigeon! It's these little nuggets of history that remind us how wonderfully unpredictable life can be, or that a group of raccoons successfully sued a homeowners association. These stories are not just amusing, they show us the unexpected ways in which the world works. They remind us that even in the most serious of times, there's always room for a bit of humor and surprise. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hilarious content. We have so much more to share with you. From quirky historical events to the funniest moments in politics, our channel is your go-to source for a good laugh and a dose of knowledge. Stay curious, stay entertained, and keep exploring the lighter side of life with us. Until next time, folks, keep smiling and keep discovering. And before you go, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Join our community of curious minds and let's keep the fun going. See you in the next video.